That's all.
That's it. All right, that's all. You know him from this podcast. Are you personal friends with him, or just okay? So you know him from this podcast. That's all.
Yes.
See, we could do the abridged version. You know.
So what I'll say is, he's a very prolific podcaster. Let's say.
Yeah.
Like he's podcasting as we speak right now.
Right. He does more. He's the only man doing more podcasts than you.
Yes.
Okay.
He does one of his podcasts on Monday all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He does another one of his podcasts on Friday all the time. He does drop-ins on another show every Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
And Saturday afternoon.
Oh, you can beat that, Joe.
And then somebody who sounds remarkably like him is also on another show on Sundays.
Okay.
So I'm just like, I know your schedule is busy and, whatever my schedule is. I go, if we could do Friday night is no good. And I'm just like, maybe Wednesday we could do something.
Right.
And he
goes, do the show for Thursday.
Yeah, I go, how about Wednesday? He goes, how about Wednesday for 9? And I go, okay, good. And I haven't heard back from him in like 3 days as we record this. But like I said, he's recording another podcast as we speak. He's very busy.
Right. So do a run in on that one and find out.
I don't know. Well, I'm doing this podcast.
Oh, that's right. You say as we record. So now I have to be extra good into the mic.
Right.
Because I was about to be bad.
Yes. But what I'll probably do is when we're done recording everything here, I'll see if he's done with what he's... And so it's just like tonight is an unscheduled night for him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like I got the notifications like, oh, this is going live at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, all right, there you go.
Right.
And of course, as we record this with all the wrestling on,
Yeah.
Had to pull you away from that.
Oh, my God. My arm hurts. You pulled me so hard, Joe. Try not to rip it out of the socket next time, please.
Yeah. And I respect kayfabe more than most, right?
Right.
And all this could be for naught, right? The guy could end up blowing me off on Wednesday, and then we'll just have to deal with what Adam has planned behind the scenes,
Mm-hmm.
But this is someone who, he chooses to protect his identity in regards to who and what he is on the internet and so forth. And I respect that, unlike some other people that were attempting to besmirch the good name of the person who helped my Raven figure come in under a year from pre-order, but also prior to me leaving for vacation. So it just wasn't sitting on my porch for a week.
Right. He does what he can. I'm glad you got your figure, though.
I am, too.
With cloth goods, I believe. So
yes.
So. Well, that's good. I'm glad that came in. And then it won't be sitting on your porch, you know what I mean?
Right.
For a week. I'd have to go down and grab it for you.
Well, because it was so long ago, I forgot that I had ordered something for Brett with it as well.
Uh-huh.
So what I would have, if it had come while I was gone on vacation, I would have just messaged Brett and said, hey, it's, your thing is in that box as well. If you want to go run down there and grab it and hold my sad Scotty Flamingo for me,
Right. And then he would have got arrested for porch pirating,
Nah. He could have showed them the text that said he had my permission.
Right. Completely no way to fake that. I had to do that for Adam once. I had to go to his house and get stuff, but Adam's a fancy gentleman and he has the garage door on an app on his phone. So I got a call that I don't know. I got a text. I don't know if he was at work or he was out of town. I forget which one. And he's like, "Oh, there's like all these boxes on my front porch, and it was multiple. When I got there, it was multiple, and we were supposed to get like downpours, like torrential rain. And he's like, "Could you run up my house and get them off my porch, and I'll open, like, when you're there, text me, I'll open the garage door. You could just put them somewhere and leave, So I was like, okay, I did it. And as I was pulling up, I left the truck running And I walked up to the porch and grabbed all the packages, and his neighbors, like there was neighbors were outside and were like looking at me. And then I walked down the hill to his garage and put them in and came back up without them. And I was like, well, not much you can do now. And he closed the garage, and I didn't rob him like I had planned to. It slipped my mind to take all his ASBAT figures. So
I was going to say you'd be swimming in slightly used cardboard standees of World Wrestling Entertainers.
Right. A lot of used gear with plenty of sniffs left in it, I heard.
Only one way to find out with those sniffs.
You got to unseal them and give a big one, Joe.
Well, they do call, what is it? They call you the Big Sniff? Is that what it was?
Yeah, they called me Todd Big Sniff Roker. And
yeah.
So, anyway.
So how was your week?
It was good. It was good. It was low key. And I haven't watched Low Key yet, but I bought a washer.
Well, I'm glad my washer's there.
It's not there yet.
Oh, okay.
It was bought because I went up this week and they have it. They have to deliver it and schedule a delivery. Well, I said, I'm going away for a couple of days. So let's buy it because it's going off sale. It will be $200 more in a couple days.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's buy it. And then when I get back, we'll set up the delivery date. And they were fine. And I went local because I had my choice to pay equal amounts of money to Lowe's or Dunmore Appliance Dunmore. And I chose Dunmore Appliance. That's where my brother got his. And then I just straight up, like I got the same washer my brother got like 2 years ago. So he really liked it. And then I looked into it and there didn't seem to be any problems. So that's the one I got and, paid in full because I'm a cash man and, I'm good to go. Now I just have to have it delivered.
We typically do our best to go local as well for any of our appliances.
Mm-hmm.
I know our dishwasher, we went with a place that's no longer in business, sadly. And then with any of the other stuff that we got, we go with down our way is Voitech.
Right, I know Voitech. I've heard the radio ads.
Yeah. But like we'll definitely go and we'll look at the prices at Lowe's and everything. Home Depot and stuff like that. And, under normal circumstances, like push comes to shove, the local places will beat or meet the Lowe's prices.
Yep.
So, you can, that's a way to get the best price possible and still support local,
Right. They gave me a bet. I went up and I was like, oh, they have this and blah, blah, blah. And I want to buy it from you because you're local. And the lady was like, okay, this is this. And I can give you a better deal. But the thing that I don't know if Lowe's does and I don't care, is they deliver it. They hook it up.
Mm-hmm.
They take the old one. They said the only thing they won't do is take the cardboard box.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, don't care. I have people at the Cinnabon who need to work under the Cinnabon trucks. So they like cardboard to lay on so they don't get dirty. I was like, I can make that disappear. No problem. And they said, though, if we install it, we will not use your old hoses. So you have to buy hoses off of us or have them. And I was like, just do it. Because the hoses that are hooked up to the hot water and cold water on my washing machine have not been off in 40 years.
Cool.
I want new hoses. Like God only knows what the O-ring washer in there is like, and how dry rotted those hoses are, and like when you take them off, what could happen. I'm like, just give me two new hoses. I'm not even arguing.
They do a new thing now with the hoses like that.
Mm-hmm.
They have special red and blue hoses.
Right. I don't know what color's the hot and what water.
Well, right now you probably just have two black hoses, right?
Yep. Now I'll have a red and a blue.
Yeah, that's what anything like within like the last like 10 to 15 years, they have this special red and blue hose. And I'm like, oh, that's ingenious.
Why didn't we think of that? I should have been painting my copper piping red and blue.
Exactly. Those are speed holes.
Yeah. But
makes the water go through the pipes faster.
Yeah. So hopefully when I come back from New York, I'll be having a new washer, and I'll put all my dirty clothes from being in the filthy city of New York and get them clean.
All the bagel crumbs on them.
And pizza crumbs. And
yeah.
Can't wait. I hope Tom seemed really hyped to get a bagel at that place. So it looks promising. He likes that. So if I can trick him into thinking it's his idea, we're golden.
There you go. But yeah, you got big New York Comic Con. Everybody's traveling this weekend.
Yeah. And where exactly are you going again?
Orlando.
Right. Because my brother is going to Disney World Saturday to Saturday.
Oh, get it. It's in that thing. We're going Universal Saturday to Saturday-ish.
Okay. Because I asked my brother, I said, and we got in a bit of a verbal fight. Because I don't know if you know this. Sometimes I'm hard to communicate with. And he's like, I'm going. I said, are you going to Disney World or are you going to other places? And he goes, no, I'm going. I'm just going to Disney World. I said, for 7 days? And he goes, yeah. He goes, yeah, I'm going to Disney World. And Epcot and, this. And I'm like, those aren't Disney World. It's like, yes, they are. They're under the umbrella. I'm like, no, nobody says I'm going to Disney World if they only go to Epcot. They're going to Epcot.
Well, that's if you're only going to Epcot, you'll say I'm going to Epcot.
Right. But no, Disney World is the park itself.
Right. Disney is all the parks that are encompassing, like Animal Kingdom, what the hell is the Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Adventureland, or whatever the hell it's called, right?
Right.
There's like the 5 parks there, and then there are people that'll just go and do the one park, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll say, I'm doing Epcot, I'm doing Animal Kingdom, I'm doing whatever, and then like your brother correctly is saying the all-encompassing all the parks is Disney World.
Right. He's not, because I asked him, and he said, well, I'm not doing Universal, I'm not doing... I was like, oh, okay. I was curious, but because Universal's the one with the Marvel stuff.
Ooh, technically, yes.
Right. What I mean is that, like, the Spider-Man, like they have the comic booky stuff.
In Florida, yes.
Right.
They have Marvel stuff that's kind of locked in time of like 1996.
Right. All around the Rob's time.
There's a Hulk roller coaster. There's a Spider-Man like 3D ride, and they have like a little themed cafe sort of thing. And I think they have like a little kiddie ride that's like Storm's Twister or some nonsense like that, right?
Be on the lookout for Doom stuff, is what I'm saying.
The last time that I was there would have been 17 years ago, and I got you that Doom mug, right?
Right.
And I guarantee you, Todd, 17 years later, they're still selling that same Doom mug.
Right. Well, I don't know where mine is, so buy me a second one.
I will get you a new one.
Right.
That's what I have in my office that I keep all my Green Lantern rings in.
Right. I don't remember you getting me a Doom mug.
I'm almost absolutely certain that I did, but if I did not, I will get it for you.
Because as we're saying this, I'm like, I don't have many mugs. We've discussed this. I don't drink coffee, so it's not like I do mug stuff a lot. But I don't ever remember having a Dr. Doom mug. So
it is a very non-functional mug.
Right.
And I'm going to bite myself in the ass by doing this here.
You're going to turn on the video so you have to do extra
so I can show it to you.
Oh, look at that handsome face.
I have a haircut now.
I know. That's weekly.
So this is the mug, right?
I never got that mug.
And then you do this.
Nope. I've never seen a flip-top mug in my life.
Get out of town.
So, yeah, I do not have that mug.
Okay, so like I said, 17 years on, I guarantee you that they still have that same mug.
Right.
And I guarantee you I will pick you one up.
Okay. You don't have to. I'm busting your ass. You know what I mean?
Well, if they have any other Doom stuff there, they might have, like, old 90s trade paperbacks and whatnot.
Right. Blow the dust off them, right?
Right. But I can, like I said, there's a whole thing. Like, California Disney has Marvel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They have... and it's real weird. If we talked about this on the show, I might have talked about it on At Odds. I don't remember.
We talked about it here.
Okay,
at one point, like what is allowed. It's like from Smokey and the Bandit, like when you couldn't take Coors across the Mississippi. Remember?
Yes, exactly.
You're bootlegging Marvel stuff if you do that.
Right. So like they have the Guardians of the Galaxy thing and they have the Avengers Academy thing, but none of it says Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy or Marvel's Avengers Academy. It just says Avengers Academy, Guardians of the Galaxy, whatever. It's whatever the deal is that Universal did and how Six Flags was supposed to get it. And then at the last minute, Six Flags like got outbid or sold on like Warner Brothers DC stuff. And they've done nothing with that. Anyway.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. So like I said, we got my busy travel week coming up here. It is it's kind of fluctuated and changed quite a bit, because April has family and stuff down there, and they are now not going to be there at the allotted time, so we just kind of got to do some shifting and stuff.
Right.
Because the plan was we were going to crash at like someone's house, like when we first get there, like late on Sunday, but we have to pick up like a Fleabag motel, like near the airport, just like to sleep. Because technically our reservation for the hotel is Sunday, but like check-in isn't until like three at the earliest. Those.
You're not going to check in while you're at the park,
right? So to check in at the hotel early, prior to 3:00 afternoon on Sunday, would be like an extra like $600.
Oh, peanuts for you!
And I said I could probably find us someplace either adjacent to or whatever the hotel, the airport for like $70, and I found it for $74. So woohoo for me.
That's right.
We got our rental car through Avis rental car.
Right.
And we were looking at when we were getting the cheapo hotel. We ended up looking to see. We're like, oh, well, let's, just look and see what's doing with the Avis, right? And we looked at, like, the Avis website at, like, 6 p.m, right? And it said that it was closed. And we're like, it's closed. What the hell's going on, right? So they only have someone at the counter until 2:00 in the morning, and then they don't return until 8.
Okay.
Our flight is scheduled to land for 11. So we have like a 3-hour window, hopefully no delays, that we can go pick up our rental car. And to do a cheaper rental car, I did the mystery rental car, which is just give us what you got. Which is what I used to play when I used to go on my road trips more often.
Right.
I would book like a mid-size, and then I would show up like early and say like, hey, any chance I could pick up my car early? And they'd be like, yeah, but we don't have the one that you assigned ready. Oh, you don't? We'll put you in something bigger for no cost. Okay.
No, not that. Please, anything but that.
I must have done that opportunity like 3 times.
Oh.
So we have that, and then like I said, it's like 4 days at the park, and then it's 2 days with her family, and then it's a travel day back. I'm depending on how things go, the family may watch Howard the Duck together on vacation.
Oh, good. Are you flying out of Philadelphia?
No, we're flying out of lovely Newark.
Oh, okay, because that's where my brother. I was hoping you guys would be on the same plane.
Oh my goodness!
I'd be like, look for that unkempt man, and he'd be like, there he is.
Wait, now, are you saying that to your brother, or are you saying that to me about your brother?
No, I'm saying that to my brother about you. I would say, look for if I was telling you to look for my brother, I would say, look for the emaciated Triple H. And he has kind of a Mr. Burns hunch going on.
Oh, okay.
That's what you would be looking for.
Because in 2023, Triple H is emaciated Triple H.
I'll take your word for it, but I always joke that that's what my brother looked like.
Like shaved, like these days, shaved head Triple H, or is the long hair?
Well, okay, now shaved head, but my brother had the long hair when Triple H had the long hair. So he always looked like him. You know what I mean? My brother was big and beefy, like me for a long time. Not muscular. He looked like a tubby Triple H back in the day. But he had the same facial hair and the same long hair as Triple H. And then I don't know what happened to my brother along the way, but he kind of lost his appetite when he had his discs fused on his back. Oh. So he lost a ton of weight. So now he looks like a stick Triple H, which apparently is what Triple H looks like, apparently to you.
When you have a heart attack, you're not allowed to do steroids anymore, allegedly.
Allegedly. Good. I was worried.
I don't have my soundboard loaded up to play Marcus's advocacy of doing steroids.
All I'm going to say, not just for this show, but you should always have that ready to go. Always. Right. You never know when someone might mention steroids.
Yes.
So
just pretend Marcus saying steroids are awesome. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't have to pretend. I've heard it personally,
okay.
Joe.
Okay. And then I guess last but not least, my super secret science device died today.
I got that. Wow.
Or the other day.
I completely forgot about that when all the stuff we're talking about. Right. So I guess you got it replaced?
Well, when I mentioned it to you today in the email, you're like, oh, I can't wait to hear about this on After Dark. And I'm like, oh, we're talking about on After Dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've had this, and again, we're going to tiptoe around this for my super secret science job. I've had the computer that I've had for a very long time, right? I could probably go grab the old one, because I haven't sent it back yet, because it's right here. Let me move Brett's Andre figure.
Don't hurt yourself.
Oof. All right. So again, it's not that old. I've only had this particular device since 2019, right?
Oh, please. Okay.
Obviously, they sent us home, with them when we all got sent home for the pandemic, and beginning of July, it started acting wonky and stuff, and I would reach out to our IT people, and they'd be like, yeah, just whatever updates need to be run, just make sure you're running the updates and everything else like that. I'm like, okay. I go, sometimes it says I need permissions. They're like, okay, well, if it comes up and it won't run, send us for permissions. And there was no issues. It was once or twice first week of July. And then about a month ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I got the blue screen of death.
I know that screen. I had that on my laptop back when I had to switch over.
So I know ways to finagle around that.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get it once, you're on borrowed time.
Yep.
So it's maybe I said, it's about a month or so ago. So I'm like, hey, and it's one of those things where it happens so quick. Obviously I'm like, okay, I know what's going to happen. So I have my phone camera out to take a picture of it, so I could send it to them. Like, hey, I'm getting this. And they're like, okay, well, do this and do this. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that. Whatever. I go, I'll keep you abreast of it. So it'd go a week and it wouldn't happen. And then it'd happen again. And it'd go a week. And then instead of going to the blue screen, the screen would just start flickering and then everything would freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'd do all my workarounds and everything else like that. And last week there was no issues. Monday, holiday, I come in. I'm getting everything going I need. And it does the flicker. I'm like, okay, let's go through the process, do everything that I need to do. And it won't even turn on now.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, okay, it's dead. So I have to install all the inter-office communique that I have on my work computer on my phone, because I can't reach out to anyone through that. So I could reach out to them and hey, it's finally done, right?
Right.
So I'm going back and forth with the IT guy that I've been working with before. He goes, okay, we'll overnight you a new machine. It'll be there Tuesday before noon. It got here before by 11. He goes, it'll be the same exact thing. All you got to do is I'm not going to even send any cords. He had me plugged in on my phone so that he could set my machine up with all the programs and everything else that I need for it,
Right.
So he does that. It gets here. Plug it in, turn it on, everything else. Log in with him. I'm like, okay, we're making sure everything is running here. so on and so forth. But yeah, it sucked. It's just one of those things where, like, I'm shocked that this computer only lasted like 4 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, new stuff doesn't last, Joe.
Yeah. And
now,
again, knock on wood, the tower that I have that we run this show on is like over 10 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
When I switched over to my laptop, I shocked Adam's friend who worked at the Best Buy. He's like, how long ago? He's like, let me look back. We have at least 10 years in the store. I said, I bought it here, and I had that laptop for 14 or so years, 15 years, and he was like, oh my God. Like, what happened? So I bought this one. We'll see how long this. I have a feeling I'll retire before this computer runs out. Hopefully.
And one's a Chromebook, right? It's not a.
No, this is a actual laptop.
Okay.
Laptop. I was gonna go Chromebook. I don't know. I went as cheap as I could go with something that I could plug in the Yeti microphone and do one thing I need to do for the Cinnabon. And that's it. That's all this computer does.
Yeah.
And because I need to print something out for work. And I could technically do it from my phone, but because it's government stuff, you have to you can really only have one, what is it called? Like verified thing on the or whatever. So if I do my phone, then I can go back and forth. That's this. But my other question for you is, how long were you down without a computer, and do you still get paid for that?
A day, and yes.
And then that's all. Oh my God, take your time shipping me the computer. If it doesn't get here until next week, it'd be great. But
no, I don't like to be that person. Now on the flip side, I do have our corporate FedEx account information.
Free FedExing. We're running some opportunities.
So I'll close out the show with this, and this will be it's a wrestling story, but you'll appreciate this.
Let's not bet on that, but go ahead.
There's a notoriously corny independent wrestling promoter, and I know that you're gonna say, whoa, Joe.
I was gonna say that or Jerry.
No, it's not Jerry. A gentleman by the name of Ian Rotten, right?
Okay.
Just would run shows above budget, bringing all these guys. If you've ever heard anyone jokingly say a hot dog and a handshake,
yes,
he's the originator of that.
Like the actual originator, or they base it on him?
They based it on him.
Okay.
So there'd be times where I can't get hotels, guys. The gate wasn't good. You're more than willing to crash at my place. So while a dozen guys are crashing at his place, he's ordering Baltimore Orioles jerseys on QVC with the no money that he had to pay the 12 people that are sleeping in his house, right?
Right. Well, come on. You can't get a room for one jersey.
So he had done this big death match tournament. I forget the company that did the filming of it. Not just the usual smart mark cameras, which are fine, but this was going to be one of the first high def death match tournaments, and it was going to be national distribution and all this other stuff. And they go, well, Ian, we need you to send us the footage, and we know you don't have any money. So we're going to give you our corporate FedEx account so you can FedEx us the footage.
God.
He may have used that corporate FedEx account to send out maybe 1 or 20 other things. When they got the footage, they also got the bill of the other stuff that was billed on the account. And when Ian Rotten had no explanation for the other things that were sent on this third-party company's FedEx account, the third-party company said, we're just going to keep this footage and never release it. And that'll be our payment to you for ripping us off to the tune of thousands of dollars in FedEx shipping.
It seems like a good businessman. Got a head on his shoulders. So are you going to give out the FedEx here at the end of the show?
Yes, it is. No, I'm not going
to. Right. That's fantastic.
All
right.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going to be the place after dark next week. The thing that I'm recording with the secret podcaster may like go out on all the feeds, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say whatever goes out on the Longbox Heroes main feed will be new material with Todd and I. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah. So you'll have podcasts next week with me being in communique and Todd convalescing from New York, 4 days in New York City.
My legs hurt thinking about it already.
You need to get some braces. You need to get like some ace bandages and wrap those suckers up. Right.
I'm on that.
All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to Longbox Heroes After Dark. Patreon.com/Longbox Heroes. Go listen to Previewing the Past from this past week. Everyone should have that Captain America that we did, which, I'll say is one of our best ones ever.
A classic.
A classic indeed. And then, like I said, we got Howard the Duck coming back when we come back from vacation. When I come back from vacation, Todd's not going anywhere. He's going to New York. Anyway, all right, enough. See y'all next week. Actually, 2 weeks. Anyway.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.